Welcome back, everybody, to Edge of the Rabbit Hole. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. With me, as always, is Vanessa Hogle, my co-hostess. And down in the chat room, our chat shenanigator, Shana, shaking everything up. So we have a fantastic episode for you coming up tonight. The new owners of the quote-unquote Conjuring House down there in Harrisville, Rhode Island, Cory and Jennifer Heinzen, are with us tonight to talk about what all is going on with this very famous house, very different from what we saw in the movie, but still very, very haunted. So Cory and Jennifer, thank you for joining us tonight. Happy to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
This is exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely a real treat. Now, I met Cory down there, Ocean State Paracon, back in July. Jennifer, I don't know why I didn't meet you because I guess you were there too.
Yeah.
But it was kind of, I guess you were kind of first, really showcasing the house at that point. Our good friend Andrea Perron was there, and it was, I know, a real special treat for her to get back into the house. But really kind of, let's back up a little bit here, get back to the beginning. How did you guys come about acquiring this house? What led you to be like, let's get this very haunted house?
It was the weirdest thing. It was a Facebook post at like 4:00 in the morning that I came across, and it was like in an ITC group or something like that.
Okay.
And it was the first post that was on it, and it said the owner's selling the Conjuring House. And I was like, there's no way. So I contacted some people I knew down there that just happened to know the realtor that represented the owner. And come to find out, she was in fact going to put it on the market when she came back from Britain. And I was like, can we sit down with her? At least sit down with her and at least look at it. Because I didn't honestly think we were going to get it.
No.
Let alone, it was going to get into a bidding war and stuff like that.
Right.
And come to find out, like, she was just like, she threw a number at us. And we're like, well, if we can make it work, we'll make it work. But she didn't even put it on the market. She just...
Oh, it didn't even get to that point.
Wow.
No.
Do you feel like that maybe how you explain that to us? Do you feel like maybe it was meant to be?
Yeah. Like the whole process, we just didn't think it would happen. We did our VA loan. We figured VA had such a stingy process that it was going to be really hard, that they wouldn't pass it. We just expected all of these obstacles, and
just kept going.
yeah.
Wow. That doesn't even happen in a standard house buying.
No, it's hard. VA loan is hard to get through.
You're absolutely correct.
Old home like this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing.
Mm-hmm. From start to finish, how long was the process before you had keys in hand?
God, it was actually really fast. I think we started paperwork at the beginning of May, and
June 21st.
Yep, June 21st, so a month and a half.
Maybe a little longer.
Maybe a little bit long. Maybe it was the end of April.
The end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah. So just under 2 months, I would say, just about.
Yeah.
Now, one last question, Mike, and then I'm going to shut up for a second. But are y'all intending to keep it in the same fashion that it's been in, restoring it to what it was previously, or doing something different to it?
Keeping it like it is.
The
only thing we're doing is like reinforcing things that need to be, like floors and stuff, safety wise. But
just typical upkeep.
Yeah. Yep. We don't plan on changing anything. It's beautiful like it is.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, I did grab a couple of photos here. So
it is lovely.
Yeah, it really is. Definitely. And it's definitely different than, what the movie portrays. So here's you guys in front of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So and that's the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, but it has changed over the years. I guess this is back in the 70s. So it has gone through a couple of different looks.
Yeah.
So, but you're going to keep it with the brown that it is right now?
We had tossed the idea of having it go back white and doing a porch and stuff, but that's nothing. I mean, maybe down the road, they're just ideas at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you considered by doing anything like that, that it might entice or, maybe stir some things up? Is that one of the reasons why you're keeping it the way that it is, or do
No,
tell?
I mean, whenever you change anything, I mean, spirits hate change. So I think just us doing the typical upkeep, like reinforcing some of the support beams and stuff like that's gonna generate some activity. So heaven forbid if we actually like started like renovating like big things.
That's why we figure we take it a project at a time.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're doing something that doesn't compromise the integrity,
Right.
or that doesn't make them feel as if you're changing their environment, then I actually think that it would be looked upon with a kinder eye.
Could be.
So, yeah. So reinforcing and such, and just keeping the upkeep where it needs to be, might actually be really beneficial, to the type of activity that you have in there. Less erratic stuff that we were talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to throw that out there.
So we do have a few people down in the chat asking some similar questions there about the history of the house, how old it is. These are coming from Life of a Mom Adventures and Beat 3 Airspace. So can you kind of just talk a little bit about the history of the house for people that don't really know?
The house was deeded in 1680.
Started.
Yeah. Well, that's when they started building it. It was actually deeded to the Richardson Arnolds by, oh God, what was his name?
John Smith.
John Smith. John Smith of Plymouth Plantation fame, Pocahontas fame.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually part of this whole, which is really neat. When he was kicked out of Plymouth Plantation, he moved west and actually settled in with the local Native Americans in that area. And that's how Roger Williams came out there and was able to actually snatch up some of that land and sell it to settlers that were coming out that way. And so, John Smith and Roger Williams had to do with the deeding. But anyways, long story short, the house was finished being built 1736. So.
Wow.
Very cool. Yeah, it's definitely a old property, an old house. We have a just real quick, a $5 super chat from Tom McNicholas with a incredible super sticker. So thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Tom.
that. So yeah, I know there's a lot of history behind the house, and it looks like it's, at least from the outside, that it's been built in different phases. Is that true? Are there different sections to this house?
Yeah, there's the main barn, the big barn that everybody sees out front.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a little side barn that was attached later on to the actual house, which makes it like what you see today.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let me pop that back up. So yeah.
Yeah, that section right there, that whole left section was added on.
Okay.
Later.
Have y'all at all looked into where the old well was?
The old well, to our understanding, now there's a well that's in the house,
Mm-hmm.
which is still open.
Right, down in the basement. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also a well to the left of the house that's held in over the, I don't know how long.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. So now you guys, before acquiring this house, were already involved with the paranormal. So can you give us a little bit about your own background?
Go ahead.
Tag along.
No, I've been doing it for about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And, after I retired out of the military, I really got to pursue it more. Didn't really have time while I was in the service. So once I got out, I just had to find something to like bide my time, because I really didn't, enjoy much anything else.
Yeah.
It was something that I'd always grew up liking, like the unexplained UFOs, like lake monsters
Loch
and
Ness
stuff.
Monster.
Okay.
So, but after I had my experience out at a battlefield in Fredericksburg, I just kind of wanted to pursue it a little bit more. So,
What happened in Fredericksburg? Are you talking
spent-
Fredericksburg, Virginia?
Yes.
Okay.
Service.
When I was in the service, we used to do battlefield studies, and we would stay out overnight, kind of like a camaraderie building thing. And then the next morning, we'd get a tour of the battlefield, talk about it from a historian, and then we would actually separate and do a walk and talk how we would have done it differently. And well, anyways, that night we were woken up by like gunfire and screaming and cannon fire and stuff like that. And I mean, there's like 50 of us out there all experiencing it. The next morning, the tour guide comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah, it happens all the time." It's like, no, it doesn't. This stuff doesn't happen all the time. And apparently it is. I mean, and this is before I ever heard of what happens at Gettysburg and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was just crazy.
People don't give Virginia enough credit for how haunted it actually is. Yeah. It's one of, and as I've said this many times on the show, I've been all over the world. It is the most haunted place I've ever been.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
There's a lot of history there too.
Yeah,
Virginia.
You need to make a trip to Sailor's Creek.
What's it called?
Sailor's Creek Battlefield.
Sailor's Creek.
Sailor's Creek.
Yes, it's under talked about, but one of the most important battles that took place in Virginia, and it is quite active. It is very, very, very active. I highly recommend it during the day.
And the night.
We went during the day because I wrote about it in my third book, and it's active enough during the day.
Yeah.
That I think it might be too much at night. Yeah. The house that sits on the property, the owners were kept in the basement while they turned the upstairs into a hospital, and the blood was leaking through the floorboards onto the family as they were eating dinner. And I mean, I could see it.
Ugh.
So, and it was a really tough battle. So I highly recommend it if you have a chance.
Wow.
So, with the house that you've bought now, have you been experiencing any activity since you've purchased it? It's we're getting some of those questions down in the chat too. I think I saw Stacy Comiskey down there asking that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Just straight up, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay.
What have you guys been experiencing?
We've had everything from shadow figures, black mists,
weird, unexplainable lights.
Yeah. I mean, doors opening and closing and stuff. I mean, it's like everything that Andrea, talked about what they experienced, like the first couple, I don't know if you would say months or years, in the house, but it's like all just coming at once. And that's what kind of makes us kind of like take a step back and try to take a look at the bigger picture, because it's like, this is coming way too fast. We haven't even been in there almost 4 months yet, and we have all this stuff coming at us. So.
Yeah, like already a lot's happening, and it's interesting you mentioned the the shadow figures and the dark mist, because I've been talking with Carl Johnson, and he's contributing some information to the book that I'm writing about shadow people, because he saw what he described as black smoke coming down the hallway there at the house. So is that? I'm guessing the black mist that you're talking about is very similar to what he was talking about with the black smoke.
Probably, yeah. Do you remember when that was?
Yeah, I mean, we've me and Bill saw it one night, and then our son saw it on a whole separate occasion, and it was enough for him to, say, "Yeah, I've had enough," and kind of went back home, and we couldn't get him back down there for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Now, but is that because everybody assumes that black means negative?
Could be.
I think we need to change the viewpoint on that. I really do. I think black doesn't always mean negative.
Oh God, no. I mean, to me, I was amazed by it. It wasn't the first time I've ever seen it.
You're scared.
Wasn't scared.
He was surprised. He was surprised, right?
Well, it's not
Make
something
fun
you
out of
see
that.
every day, right?
No, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, okay, you're in a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to expect these things. It was like, oh, okay. And, and it was no different than the first time I've seen it.
Yeah.
But now my understanding about it, and now this is what I've been told, is that a black mist is associated with Native American. I don't know if that's true or not. And that's like a whole different realm of things that, we can't really control because we don't speak the language or anything like that.
Right.
And I don't know how much truth there is to that. So
I
it's
think
like,
it just depends on who's seeing it.
Yeah.
You
Where
know?
where in the house did you see the mist?
actually, the bedroom that Roger made for Carolyn after she was attacked.
Okay.
Out of that, once you walk into that main room, that room that we have as our command center, if you will,
Mhm.
and you walk up the stairs, that was like their main bedroom, if you will.
That's the room that everybody's seen it in, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Kyler saw it there too. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And John too.
Yep.
Okay, I'll have to go back through my notes with Carl because he was talking about seeing it come down the hall. So maybe it came out of that when he saw it. Maybe it came out of that room or something. I don't.
Was it
I
in
have
the
to talk-
basement? Carl saw it.
No, he was saying that he saw it up the stairs coming down the hall.
Or there could be
So-
more than one.
Well, yeah. I mean, and we're
Yeah.
talking when he saw it was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was back then when he saw it. So
It's been a minute.
just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I feel
Right.
Have y'all heard any buzzing there?
buzzing. Knocks, but not buzzing.
As far as like ringing, like ear, like ringing in your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is like I have tinnitus, so I'm just like, but I mean I hear it more often down there than. So I don't know if that's.
Because it follows you.
It likes them.
I was hearing it earlier, and that's why I was looking around because I'm like, nothing's buzzing in my house. Okay, so now I understand why. Proceed.
Okay.
Yeah. So how often do you get down there? Because right now you're up in Maine, but you've been traveling back and forth. So you get down there a lot.
We're usually down there every week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually there during the week and here on the weekends.
Okay. So a lot of people are asking the chat, like Tom McNicholas here, about asking when the house will be open for visitors. So what's your intention with the house? Because I do hear some different stories and rumors about that you will eventually open it for paranormal investigations. But I'd love to hear that straight from you if that's the case.
Okay, so right now we're hoping we can get it open sometime in November.
Oh, okay.
Legally, that's like by a legal standpoint, because what people have to understand, this is like a private residence. So,
Right.
and I'm not saying most of the listeners and stuff aren't going to be those kind of people, but I won't put it by people to just walk on the property and twist an ankle and try to sue somebody,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because that's just how people are.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
And it's an investment that we made, and we have to protect ourselves when it comes to that. So we have lawyers that are looking over it and stuff. And unfortunately, we've already had people causing issues with the property
Mhm.
that we had to deal with. So that kind of trumped getting everything set to have people come in and do walkthroughs and whatnot. And,
Basically created more boundaries, I guess, that we just need to make sure.
cause more red tape
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
didn't need to be there.
So we're working with the lawyer to figure out exactly what we can do and what's safest. And
No, I totally get that. I know that, years ago, and they still deal with it a little bit, the Amityville house. When that movie came out, they were blitzed with all kinds of people. I know that happened with, the house that you currently bought. And it will, you're still going to get, I'm sure it's, not as much as it was, 4 years ago or whenever it was. But yeah, I imagine you're still going to deal with people over the years that are just going to walk right on up.
yeah.
I mean, they have. I mean, we just tell people to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're going to stop to take pictures, pull off on the side of the road. You know, don't just stop in the middle of the road and try taking pictures.
Unfortunately, it's on a really busy road, and it's really like, it's dangerous when you try and if you don't pull over enough. I can see why the neighbors were annoyed back when.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
It was a big frenzy back then.
Well, you're doing the absolute right thing by making sure that you protect yourselves. And there's nothing wrong when you're talking about something like that, having people have to have a medical release, making sure that they sign a disclosure stating that they cannot, sue if they were to trip and fall and hurt themselves. I mean, any place that you investigate that's worth their weight is going to do that, because there are those that will abuse the privilege.
Yeah.
That having been said, hint, wink, would you ever allow overnight stays?
We are. I mean, I don't know. I'll let you answer that.
Obviously, that's a whole nother can of worms that
I will sign whatever you want me to.
Oh, believe me, I've had people that are like, I'll just sell you my soul to do it. And it's like, I
ain't going that far.
But it's like, the thing is that the people, like some of the people that, cause us a nuisance and stuff had other places shut down. Yes. So we have to really
oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, it's very
So we're at the VA loan. We just need to figure out, we need to just make sure we're taking all the correct steps, that we're not doing anything with the mortgage, that we're not,
Well, your homeowner's insurance as well.
Yes.
You have to worry about all of that. I mean, you could even check with your insurance company about carrying personal articles policies on different things, just to make sure that you have that extra cushion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is like, we would be there when people are there overnight. That's not the issue. It's like, and I'm like, what happens if I just tell people I'm having a slumber party? And I'm having these people over to, have a slumber party, because, ultimately that was our intent, was to allow people.
I mean, it's our home. We just figured we could just allow people in.
But it's, I guess it's not as cut and dry as people say it is, which is kind of sad if you ask me, but I don't make rules, so.
Right.
Well, it also shows your good heart that y'all wouldn't be the kind to go in and try to fuck somebody over.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't expect someone to do it to you, but it obviously does happen. So, sad day.
Yep.
But it'll be good. It'll be a good future.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are still young. You have plenty of time to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So, question here from Guiding Echoes. Kind of interesting question, since it's because of how lengthy the history is and how long the hauntings have been going on there. But it's Nicole Guillaume. She asks, do you want it to stay haunted?
The house is haunted? No, I
that was kind of like earlier before we went live, and you're like, what show? We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah.
That was funny.
I like the fact that, it's got that aura to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've experienced things in that house that, I've been doing this as long as I have. And now it's like, it's my own little personal Disney World, if you will. So it's, as long as it stays the way it is, and it doesn't stop messing with people the way that it did Andrea and her family and stuff, I'm okay with that. And I want people to be able to experience it, but I don't want psychopaths running on my property trying to burn down the house, trying to kill the demons.
Right.
Because there's nothing that evil in there as far as what we've noticed. So
and they've already had issues out there with people breaking Bathsheba Sherman's headstone and crazy things like that. So
that is such a dick move.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. I have personal issues with that.
Yeah.
So I mentioned it a second ago, the comment that you made before we went live, the show. So let's go ahead.
That was so funny.
It was pretty funny.
It was.
I was asking Cory and Jennifer, what we may or may not be able to talk about with the show coming up. And just like he did a moment ago, Cory was like, "Show? What show?"
What?
But
That was great.
But it's Ghost Adventures. Ghost Adventures is going to be featuring the Conjuring House coming up. When is that airing, guys?
Halloween night at 9:00, and it is not live.
Okay.
We really need to make sure we reiterate that a lot, because I don't know if it's just because our episodes in the past have been live, but this one's not live.
It's already been filmed.
They're not going to be there on Halloween night.
Yeah, they have had in the
Yes.
in the past they did some live Halloween stuff, but I think and I don't think they always do live stuff on Halloween, but I think the rumor first came out months ago when the news first broke that they were doing your house, that it was going to be live. And then
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Not really sure where it started. But
Yeah, I don't know how that rumor started.
They've already come and gone. They won't be there Halloween night.
Right. Which maybe that was the plan all along. Start that rumor off initially so they had no idea when the team was going to be there and just kind of slyly come in, do their thing. And yeah. So, okay. Halloween night, 9:00, Travel Channel. And when we were talking before the show, you said you don't really know what to expect.
No idea.
No.
Yeah.
It's one of those things they didn't do like a reveal with us or go over. Like, we only saw one piece of evidence, and that was like in the middle of their investigation. That was it.
Well, it's because we were part of it.
Yeah.
You've seen more with your own two eyes than what you were shown by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Fair.
Well, they validated some stuff that we've already seen too, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. How long were they there for?
Other than that, we didn't.
7 days.
Oh, wow. So they were there quite a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times they spend about 3 days somewhere, 3, maybe 4.
Did they
so
stay overnight?
2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Couple nights.
Couple nights. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll be an interesting episode for sure. So, guys, I am actually breaking down and watching this particular Ghost Adventures episode.
I will too. I will too.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I've always long respected your thoughts. Well, I've been friends with Andrea for a long time, and so, knowing her and hearing, the real story of what happened and reading her books, it's I'm really interested to see what happens on that episode. So, I just hope they get the history right.
Yeah,
we hope so too.
There's a couple of us that are open.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And we'll be watching and yelling in case they don't. Okay. Just know we got you. Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Now, have I know you've met Andrea, obviously, and you've had her in there and have talked to her a bit. So have you seen some of the different things that she's talked about?
Yeah, definitely with the mist.
The flashing lights.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
That's like so many unexplainable.
The real big thing that we're starting to notice, and Jen was the one that actually kind of figured this out because I was just oblivious to it, was Andrea used to talk about how she always felt there was like a time shift.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Well, the middle bedroom upstairs has this time shift thing going on for some reason, and every single camera we've put up there has always been messed with.
And we put multiple cameras in the middle bedroom because we can't figure out why it does what it does.
It'll black out and it'll pick right back up, but it's moved ahead 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's the most craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Even if you try to go back onto it, it loses time.
Yeah. And we've switched the cameras out, we've switched the cords out, and it keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Have you put a camera outside facing?
Oh yes. We have multiple cameras. Facing inwards towards that room. And just and the thing is, they don't change time. Those remain constant. That's the only one that seems to jump.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Reading some of the stories, and just, and of course talking with Andrea too, that I guess it's that room where they talk about the quote unquote bubble, where they go in and it's just time works very differently, where some of the stories, they're in there for what seems like 20, 30 minutes, and they come out and it's only been a couple. And of course, during that 20, 30 minutes, they experience all kinds of crazy paranormal activity. So it's really, it'll be interesting over time, how many different types of experiences or what types of experiences you'll have in there. So that's, it's a really interesting room.
If you spend any amount of time there, you lose track of time. It doesn't matter, like, if you're in that room or you'll be down there. I thought I was down there for a week. I come home and Jen's like, are you going to hang out with the kids or anything? I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you've been gone for 3 weeks. I'm like, no, I haven't. I've been gone for a week. What are you talking about? She's like, it's been 3 weeks. No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I just associated it with, like, that's how it was in the military. It's like, we're out there for 3 weeks, but it just felt like a week. I was like,
now, in all fairness, my ex-husband was in the Air Force, so I get you. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I totally understand. I was also Air Force. So
I was about to say, we totally understand that. That upstairs
Cory, real quick, Cory, which branch were you?
Wasn't Air Force.
Okay.
No. Hey, honestly, in all honesty, I would have done the Air Force. I couldn't score high enough on the ASVAB.
It's all right.
The honest truth.
He was a Marine.
Marines. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The Marines are badass. Marines are badass. So don't you worry about that. Quick question. The upstairs bedroom, is that directly above the area that we were talking about earlier?
I wondered. Well,
she said far left, right?
No. The two places. Remember, one far right.
Oh, the far back.
And one directly in the back. Straight up and down.
The second one, it sounded pretty close. And when you said when you come through the door, there are 3 ways to get into the house. So I'm just kind of picturing if you went through one of the doors, you're probably spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door on the right, on the left.
The far.
Yeah. If I'm looking at the picture, the one far over here.
Far left.
Be
a little bit off.
The one with the circle, Oh yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah, because that was the barn.
Yeah, okay. Barn. I was thinking the other door. There's 2 doors in front on this.
The door on the far right is the one to go to the far right of the house. The other area that I'm talking about is direct center of the main house, on the back side, top and bottom, all the way from the top down.
That would be That would be that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like,
Well, they look at the house upstairs. So yeah.
And we'll see a floor plan.
Yeah, I know.
Although the picture that you showed of them standing in front of the side of the house, the 2 windows above, that area is pretty active as well.
Yeah, I can bring that back up real quick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right up there.
That's the master bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is such a neat looking building.
It is. It is.
It is beautiful.
So we do have a comment from down in the chat. John Huntington says he misses both of you and you guys are badasses.
Yeah, that guy.
My God. John's pretty brave.
John's down there right now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's brave. I don't know if it was him or Bill, the first one to spend the night upstairs in the middle bedroom by themselves, but
I think it was Bill.
You think it's Bill?
Yeah. John
give him
tried
credit,
it
they're
time.
both brave.
Okay, very cool. Now, from my understanding, there's a lot that goes on in the barn as well. So have you had any experiences out there?
We haven't really been in there.
Oh, okay.
It's still full of bat poop, so that's one area we've not ventured. We've been in it before just to see it, and if we could, once we clean it out, it'd be beautiful. But
okay, so it needs a
that's
little
all
work.
Andrea kept saying. She's like, "Oh, you need to go to the barn." I'm like,
"It's covered.
It's covered in bag guano."
It's probably at least 4 or 5 years worth. Like, it's covered.
Wow.
You're not going to get rid of the bats, though, are you?
They just relocate them. Believe me, I'm an animal lover.
Yeah. Okay. So they said that they could come out and do that, but they won't do it until we hire someone to plug up the holes so that more bats don't come in.
They'll do it. They'll do it at any time, but they said it wouldn't make sense
to do it until we can
have somebody that can come
plug
in
it up so they don't come back. But yeah, they would do it humanely.
Yeah, well, because you can put a bat house on the outside of that for them for some of them to be able to stay, and it'll keep your insect population down
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
I'm a bat lover. I love me some bats.
They actually don't scare me at all. And
They set off our cameras though at night. Remember when we had all our motion sensing cameras outside, and they're like, "What is setting that off?" And you see a bat swooping in.
Yeah,
I was like,
be laying in the
bitch.
downstairs room at night, and the lights outside would keep coming on. And
that's awesome.
Caught the big.
I would love that.
Yeah. I think I posted the video on the Facebook page because it was pretty funny when
because we were like, "Oh, there's this supernatural happenings right now. Look, the camera the light keeps going off." And everybody's like, "Ooh!" And then I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I was like, "Oh, it's bad."
That's awesome. That just makes me happy.
Now she's all tickled about the bats.
I am. I love bats. They're beautiful. They're beautiful creatures. They're very intelligent, and they provide a service.
Yeah,
they do.
So,
just as long as you don't get them in your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one in my house when I was like 5.
Aw.
You know, they just
in our house twice in 1 week. Last year, or the year before.
Yeah.
Wow. No, but I'm. You're right though. I don't like their poo.
Yeah, it's healthy. It's
supposed to be good fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly.
We'll take someone else's word for that.
There you go. Yeah.
We'll let the professionals do that.
Yeah.
So I expect you guys are doing a ton of investigating out there. You're talking about, putting some stuff up on the Facebook page, which actually the Facebook page is not, I guess it's not what people would expect, the quote unquote Conjuring House. Do you call it the farm on Round Top Road?
Yeah. Well, the Conjuring name is trademark, so.
Ah, okay. So if you opened up for investigations, that's the way you'll, I guess, market that?
Yeah. Yeah, a link at least to a website or, yeah. It's hard to keep up on the Facebook page because there's really nothing we can do as far as, we can't do anything in the inside. We can't post pictures. It's only so many pictures of the outside. Well, I could take them all day long or look at them all day long, but.
Why can you not post pictures of the inside?
Interesting you should say that. We're actually under contract with Ghost Adventures. We're not allowed to show anything of the inside until after they premiere their episode.
Yeah.
So that's why there's been a total lack of
inside pictures anywhere on the Facebook page.
And as far as us keeping it updated and stuff, that's just me being lazy.
Me, I try.
I mean, because the thing is, what I can post, hey, another haunted day at the haunted house. Awesome. Can't wait for you guys to come and see it.
Which I'm sure, once you're able to do that and you could just throw up photos and I'm sure people will be all over that.
Yeah. After October, after they air that episode, there's more we'll be able to do with the page. But I mean, we can't, no videos, no pictures, no nothing.
We got enough video and we got enough videos to really make people stop and look. So we're excited.
Good. I can't wait to see. Did Andrea, by any chance, or did anybody that you've come into contact with have anything from the house from the time that Andrea and her family lived there that they were willing to donate or give to put back into the home for when you guys open it up?
Nobody's said anything, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I never even thought to have Andrea point anything out that's in the house that was there when she was there. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It really would.
Yeah, that would. I mean, it's
what was theirs.
It's a historic house and it's very old. So sure, you could point out all these different things from 1700s, 1800s, all that, but even that more recent history really resonates with people. So pointing out something from 1975 or whatever would actually really interest people because it would, people connecting and related to the Perrons. So, right. that is a part of the house's history for sure.
Right. And Norma did a great job. The previous owner did a great job decorating it with lots of antiques. So we don't know what was hers, what had been left there when she purchased the home. We don't know. I never thought to ask what was what.
I know the bedroom downstairs the wallpaper and stuff and the paint, Roger said
put all that up.
that's all original, which is cool.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
That's
because
cool.
he walked in and he's like, and also like I want to say the cupboards and stuff that he built inside that room.
Yes.
Didn't he say that?
Yeah. But as far as like items that are there, it'd be kind of cool to know what was there. So.
Yeah. Roger.
Okay, so some of the items in the house actually came with the house when you bought it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The first time we met Roger, he walked in the house. He just sits down at the table, and he's like, "Hey," and he points at me and he's like, "Come here." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I walk over and he's by the windowsill and he's pointing at the windowsill and I'm looking at it and he goes, "You see that crack? It's gonna get worse. Fix it." And I was like, "Sure." And he'd go to the next, and he was just.
I can see Roger doing that. Yeah.
It was funny though. He's going from room to room,
he's going
pointing stuff out.
Like,
this never looked like this.
Yeah, he's like, "Good Lord, what is that?" I was like, "Oh." So
That's awesome.
Yeah, he is really funny.
that was my first introduction to Roger. That was funny.
Yeah, I can see Roger doing that. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
A couple more questions here out of the chat. This is from Diane Hilbert, Haunted Road Media's Fairy Queen. Cory, will you let me bring Vanessa and Mike to the house next summer after their Paracon?
We should have everything situated by then, I'm hoping.
Absolutely,
So
yes. Yeah.
not a problem.
You guys are welcome anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We truly look forward to it, and not for the reasons that probably 10,000 other people would, but Mike's a historian, ghost historian.
Yeah.
And I just want to see if I'm right. So,
So far,
Yeah,
I would be
yeah.
so interested to see what you could.
I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to him. So.
Yeah, Vanessa, it'd be really interesting to see what you pick up on from there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is from Robert Hanna. This is kind of funny. Have you guys watched The Conjuring while you've been there?
We did several times.
Did you? Okay. Like while you were in the house?
While we were in the house.
We
Okay.
actually did that the night of the Paracon.
Yeah.
Like
Did
after
you really?
everybody left, there was a couple of us that sat down and started watching it. Like, we can't do this, and they left. Where's everybody going?
Yeah.
That's funny. And anything ever happen in the house when you've done that?
Oh no,
Okay.
No.
not that we noticed, anyways.
It's funny though that you say that is the night of the Paracon, which obviously, I mean, it's, people go to Paracons because they're interested in the paranormal, and you have the perfect opportunity to watch a spooky movie in the house that it is a representation of, albeit, Hollywood took over.
Yeah.
Why would you be scared to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
I mean, how would that not be like the perfect cocktail for a great night?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just worried because they had to get up early in the morning.
Yeah. See, to me, all you need is cocktail weenies, some cheese, and some green apple Smirnoff, and you've got yourself a partay. Something like that.
Yeah.
Little Smokies,
There you
or
go.
barbecue sauce. So, no, that's just my thoughts on it.
So question here from Basis 1945. First half, I already know you haven't, because the question is, have they been back since Zach and his team filmed, which you have. But the second question is, if so, did you guys cleanse the house at all? So I'm guessing you guys haven't had any intention to cleanse the house.
No,
Not of what's there, but of what came,
Right.
is why she's asking. That's Andrea. So Andrea Agrazon. So I know that I can speak for her on that.
That's funny. Yeah, no, we didn't do any cleansing of any sort for anybody.
no. People ask us if we want it cleansed and stuff, and we're like, there's no reason to cleanse it. There's nothing there that wants to do any harm to anybody that we've noticed, so there's no need to.
Yeah, and most of those spirits have been hanging out there for such a long time, and they're really they're a part of the house now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
absolutely.
think. Yeah.
I actually had somebody contact me and ask me about something like that just the other day. Maybe it was this morning, that they were having activity in their house, and it wasn't negative. It wasn't malicious, what should they do? And I said, absolutely nothing. If you've been cohabitating nicely, there's no reason to shoo somebody out of what they consider their home as well,
Right.
unless it becomes negative. And I love the fact that you guys look at it that way, not because it's, hey, this could be a moneymaker, but they've been here longer than we have.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like,
Yeah, show a little respect.
From it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tales of Darkness wants to know if there's any deeper reason to why you bought the house.
I mean, honestly, I mean, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, I've always wanted to have a haunted location to call our own.
Mm-hmm.
It just stinks it had to be all the way down to Rhode Island instead of up here.
But we love the area. We love.
I mean, 8.5 acres. We don't even have 8.5 acres up here in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got our own river. We got a pond. You know, it's beautiful down there.
You got a river?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you were spot. I'm telling you, you were spot
by a
on.
lot of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Shit.
Maybe you couldn't wait till next Paracon to come.
Yeah.
No, if I get a plane ticket, it'll be sooner. We'll see. That would be awesome.
Dreaming about it tonight.
I know, right? How can I make some quick bucks? Come on now.
And that's 8 acres. That's a good chunk of land. How much of the original land is that? Because I know it was kind of a much bigger expanse, right? Like originally.
It was like 200 acres, I believe it
100 or
was.
200, yeah. It was it was a lot of land.
Yeah, because like even like a part of it went into Massachusetts, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it was pretty big.
Yeah.
So, let's see if you guys have. I'm looking down into the chat for other questions, and some of these are kind of the same. So, yeah. So, I guess heading into the future. So you've already talked about. We'll be able to see a little bit more of what's going on there after the show airs on Halloween. What long-term goals, I guess. I guess you eventually want to, move down there and live there, but you're in Maine right now. So I know we talked a little bit before the show about that, but how is all that working for our audience?
So we have 2 kids. Our daughter's in college. She's still up here in Maine. Our son is 17, so he's still in high school. The plan was for him to just start school right there in Rhode Island, but he did have that scare, and we thought maybe it would be too safe to just jump right into having him there all the time. So we enrolled him back at school here. He plays sports, and he's right into all that. So we're kind of just seeing how it goes. I mean, Cory's there for weeks at a time. If not, like if we come down together and come back together, it's always during the weekdays when I'm down there. So we have family here that helps take care of the kids, and Maddie's doing college from home, so she's helping out here as well. So for now, we're just, I don't know, we're just playing it by ear, figuring out how things go, and we really don't have a set end goal yet. Like I have no idea what next month's going to look like, let alone next year. We're just figuring things out.
But that's kind of nice. I mean, you're not going in with an agenda.
Yeah.
And that's to be commended. I mean, you bought this, you plan on possibly someday it being your home.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it that way. And I don't think a lot of people do that. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
There's your buzzing again.
Yeah, I heard the buzzing.
Yeah.
Couple other. Yeah.
Well, what? I don't get it.
A couple other questions coming in here from Tammy Heitzman. Have you walked the entire property and land? And if so, did you find anything interesting that you can talk about?
We've walked a lot of the property, but we haven't hit all of it. There's so much.
The land, there's a lot out there from what Andrea says. There's actually the foundation of the original farm what I mean by that is the farm that they lived in while they were building this one
Right.
is actually on the property, and it's further down the like a trail that we have out back. But honestly, the ticks have been so bad this summer. It's not worth going down there and picking them out of your butt crack for like next month.
We've been down there a few times
Yeah.
to look, but I think by the time the leaves fall, it'll be easier to be able to go through everything.
Yeah.
Need to get some guineas.
There you go.
Get some
guinea
guineas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get some guineas out there because they'll eat them all up.
The problem is a lot of coyotes.
Oh, then don't get guineas.
Yeah, coyotes and foxes.
Yeah.
I mean, the turkeys seem to be.
The turkeys were all over the place in the spring, summertime, but we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them for a little while.
It's gonna be Thanksgiving next month.
Right.
I don't have to worry about dinner.
Dim's good eating. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but we've explored the land. We've gone. There's lots of trails and stuff.
Yeah.
But we definitely haven't seen it all. We never actually had a surveyor take us around and show our land markers, so we're not.
Yeah, we don't even know where our property boundaries are.
There must be markers out there. We've just yet to find them.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's pretty expansive out there, so. Yeah, and kind of a follow-up for that, Kathy Ciliento is wondering, is the property also haunted?
Yes.
From what we, yeah.
Yeah.
Vanessa saying it.
Yeah. I mean, we've experienced stuff outside on the land, so yes. And Vanessa says yes, too. So.
Yeah. The Southwest corridor has a lot of issues going on.
And Andrea had a number of tales from the property itself, so yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the whole area right there.
Yeah.
Very haunted.
Well, there's
neighbors have had experiences too, so I think it's the land from way back when.
Yeah, our neighbors. Then our neighbors have already said they've had stuff going on in their house for years. So.
Oh yeah, well, because y'all got people buried back there. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
We didn't put them there though.
No.
We're in straight right now. It wasn't us.
Yeah. No, not yet. No.
People keep trespassing though.
There you go.
So,
talking like a Southerner now.
Yeah. So Tom McNicholas is wondering if any of the property extends into Massachusetts as well. I know it at least used to. I don't know if it still does.
I don't think our land does. I think
it goes right to the border.
Goes right to the border. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think it can go over the border, can it?
Not these days, but I think like a long time ago when it was a much bigger piece of land, if I recall correctly, part of it did extend into Massachusetts, but I think that's probably laws and
tax
boundaries.
Purposes,
and all that. Yeah.
I want to find out where the land is so I can jump from Mass to Rhode Island.
Yeah. Just stand right over the line.
Yeah.
1 foot in Rhode Island, 1 foot in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Well, it would be a good idea just to know where those boundaries are anyway for your homeowner's insurance and any, for trespassing purposes.
True.
Those are things that definitely have to be known. So because you're going to get people trying to. It's going to sound really bad the way I'm going to put this, but try to come in from the back.
Yeah.
They're going to try.
They're trying to backdoor it, huh?
We haven't had that happen yet.
Yeah, those backdoor.
It can happen. Be straight up on you.
I'm sorry. I had to. But there was a purpose behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a purpose behind it. There was always a purpose to
There's always a purpose. There's a method to the madness.
There's a
That's
method
right.
to the
Here
madness.
I am worried about dropping F-bombs, and she's talking about picking up the back. I'm like, come on.
I already told you F-bombs are allowed. You can,
Yeah.
This is the rabbit hole. We go down there.
yeah, we do. We go down. Sorry, that was tacky, but
Yeah.
I admit it.
All right. I know you guys kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but for those that are coming in later, because we are getting a lot of viewers in now. From Lynn's Haynes, what kinds of entities inhabit the property itself?
To be honest with you, like besides the shadow figures, we don't really. The one entity that we know of, we don't know if it's a male or a female. We keep associating that as a female because it asked for Roger.
Yep.
And Roger used to have,
his little girlfriend,
yeah, the lady in white
Mm-hmm.
that he used to like see all the time down in the basement and stuff
Yep.
like that. That's where we got a really good EVP. It was just such a raspy voice. We couldn't just discern whether it was male or female, but it asked for Roger.
Yeah, I heard some story a couple months ago that I guess Roger was getting all jealous because I guess John Zaffis was down there, and the woman down there tapped him on the shoulder, said hello to him or whatever it was, and so Roger was getting a little jealous.
I didn't hear this story. I like that.
So I guess they're gonna duke it out over the woman in the basement.
There we go. we gotta make sure we get that on camera.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. So
yeah, we'll do a live for that.
The interesting thing is this woman that you guys speak of, in appearance, is very proper. She has the very high collar. I see her in black. She has a white apron on. That's the white that I see from her. She's very proper, very thin, a bit robust in the hoo-haws, but she's very thin. But her mannerisms and actions are complete opposite of how she looks. So it's more like the wife that was kept on a short tether by the very strict and Protestant or pilgrim type husband, to behind closed doors. This is what she's attracted to. This is what she feels the need for. And that's how she is able to act out. She's able to do those things because she's no longer held to that tether.
Interesting. As long as she likes me and she's okay with me there.
Perfect. She's perfectly fine with you. She's perfectly fine with you. No, it's just more of a situation where she is acting out now in a way that she wasn't able to act out when she was alive.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Diane Hilbert's down there in chat saying it's Mrs. Arnold asking for Roger. So yeah, I believe that's who they always thought it was, that it was Mrs. Arnold.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who that is. I need to read the books.
yeah, there's a lot of history behind that house.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There's 8 generations lived in that house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's a lot, and B3 Aerospace is down there saying that she read Andrew's books 1, 2, and 3, and these books are like no joke. They're like each that thick. You know?
They are. Yeah.
They're huge. So yeah, and then Diane throwing down in there that Mrs. Arnold, when she got old, she hung herself in the barn after her husband died. So
that's who they think it is.
Yeah, that's who they think it is, and it's supposed to be one of the reasons why the barn is supposed to be very haunted, is because she had hung herself in there. So, but you guys said you haven't really done anything in the barn because of all the bat guano.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the basement, okay, so you got the one voice down the basement. Anything else you're getting down there? I mean, you just kind of get the, that kind of basic basement creepy vibe at all, or anything like that?
We did a couple walkthroughs during the Perron, and on 2 different occasions, 2 different investigators were touched in the same area of the basement down by the furnace, where Roger actually said he used to go down and meet with
her down there.
I guess if you would, but that they would feel like a strong, like, I won't really say a pinch, but just like a gentle touching on the shoulder, and I'm trying to remember where. Yeah, both in the same area though. So
yeah.
Okay.
But as far as like visual evidence or anything, like audio visual, like it's
EVPs, but nothing nothing on camera, nothing.
Have you ever set up cameras just to roll in every room while you guys aren't there?
They're rolling 24/7.
24/7?
Set up like Big Brother down there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're rolling all the time.
Yeah. And I guess another thing for people to understand is that, while it's a very haunted house, it's not like something's going on 24/7. I mean, even when you go through Andrew's books and you read